Bitcoin is in a bear market. Let's not beat about the bush or try to put some spin on it. The price is falling. It fell just 10% while I was asleep last night, and it's already almost 40% off its highs. If it looks like a duck, swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, then it probably is a duck. This is a bear market. So, what happens next? How long does it go on for? Where does it fall to? And most importantly of all, what do we do? Bitcoin, as we know, is a highly speculative asset. It's not only a new technology, but it's a new technology that is money. A more bubbly asset has never been designed. It thus evokes all the emotions that come with a speculative mania. In fact, it heightens them to the nth degree. Massive FOMO on the way up, as well as elation, exhilaration, and delusion. And when it goes into a bear market, the opposite happens with equal emotional intensity. I don't know what the opposite to FOMO is. Gmoot, maybe. Get me out of this thing. And there'll be denial, hence all the arguing, especially with Elon Musk, fear, capitulation, and despair. And just as many people lose perspective on the way up, it's going to $1 million, so will many lose perspective on the way down. It's finished, it's over. Lots of bad decisions are going to get made. In fact, many bad decisions have already been made, buying too near the top. Now it's about damage limitation. Do you sell now, take a loss, and buy back lower? Easy to say, hard to do. The particularly hard thing to do is buying back lower. Bitcoin goes to $30,000. Do you buy now? Oh no, I think it's going to 20,000. It goes to 20,000. At this point, pessimism is so pronounced that it is very, very difficult to persuade yourself to buy, so you don't. Then Bitcoin reverses, and before you know it, it's back above $40,000 and you have lost your position. So, do you hoddle? This is the tried and tested practice of holding no matter what. It's been the most effective Bitcoin trading strategy there is since its inception 12 years ago. Perhaps it will be again, who knows? Hodling is very hard to do. It takes extraordinary willpower to hold through 2 years of bear market. Shortly before I went to bed last night, Bitcoin was sitting around $43,000. It fell $5,000 in the time I was asleep, over 10%. Shortly before shutter, I was putting on Twitter that if 42,000 doesn't hold, then 30,000 comes into play. Technical Analysis 101 says that is the next line of support. After 30,000, then 20,000 comes into play. 20,000 is the old high from 2017, a monumental price point. It would be very typical of Bitcoin to come back to that level, touch it, and kiss it goodbye. I'm not saying that will happen because I don't know. I'm just speculating, and with words, not money. Heck, I really wouldn't rule out going all the way back to 12,000. But Bitcoin could just as easily turn up and rally. You know what it's like. The bull market was tired. Bear markets in Bitcoin are normal. They are as vicious as the bull markets are epic. They are part of the territory, and that is where we are now. The Financial Times will be all over it, so will the BBC and The Economist. There'll be stories about lost fortunes. Many of the scams will be exposed. There'll be calls for greater government intervention and regulation. But all the while, the tech will evolve and improve. I would say we've moved on from the denial phase and we're now in the fear stage, and we still have capitulation and despair to go. That's when we reach peak gloating from no-coiners. This bull market hasn't been quite as epic as previous Bitcoin bull markets, so the corresponding bear market probably won't see the usual 85 to 90% correction. I think there have been maybe 5 of those so far. But a bear market is still a bear market. They're not nice. But nor is Bitcoin over. It will come back, and when it starts feeling like it's over, that's probably the time to be buying. But ultimately, if you're selling your Bitcoin for fiat, you are exchanging a superior asset for an inferior one. It's usually better to hold quality assets even in bear markets. And by the way, despite the fact that many will blame Elon Musk's recent tweets for these falls in price, there is a bigger force at play here. Bitcoin is a new technology. It's been behaving like a tech stock. Bitcoin and the Nasdaq have been tracking each other for some time. For some 13 years, since 2008, tech stocks, digital assets in other words, have been dramatically outperforming commodities, real stuff. That is another bull market that's over. It's reversed. Real stuff is outperforming again, and I rather suspect it is going to for a good few years yet. My goodness me. This is a reversal that is overdue. Tech trashed commodities from the late 1980s to 2000. Between 2000 and 2002, commodities had their day. From 2002 to 2008, the two range traded, and tech has led since 2008. It will lead again. The scalability of digital is phenomenal. But for now, real stuff is retracing some of the huge ground that has been lost. And that should continue for a few years, is my view. This chart shows the ratio of the Nasdaq versus the CRB, the commodities index, and it is clearly turned up. COVID marked the bottom. Bitcoin's slide is part of that rotation from digital into real stuff. For now, the negative narratives are taking over. If the price continues to fall, they'll get even more pronounced. A little bit of upward price action, however, and the overwhelming bullish Bitcoin story will take over once again. I am going to hodl my Bitcoin, but I'm also hodling lots of real stuff too. Thanks very much for watching. I'll be back with another video very soon. Please subscribe to my channel. Until I see you again, goodbye.